Today we'll explore the story and legacy of Frank and Alice Longbottom. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. When we think of bravery in the wizarding world, many names come to mind. Harry Potter, Dumbledore, and even members of the Order of the Phoenix. But two names that often fade into the background despite their incredible sacrifices are Frank and Alice Longbottom. They fought bravely against Voldemort forces and ultimately paid a devastating price. Frank and Alice were both sorted into Gryffindor House, a fitting home for two people who would become symbols of bravery. Although their years at Hogwarts weren't detailed in the books, we can safely assume that both were dedicated students. Given that their later careers, it's likely that they excelled in subjects like defense against the dark arts, charms, and transfiguration, essential skills for anyone hoping to become an Auror. After graduating from Hogwarts, Frank and Alice didn't settle for an ordinary career in the wizarding world. Both went on to join the Auror Service, an elite group of dark wizard catchers tasked with defending the magical community from dangerous threats. Becoming an Auror isn't easy. The training is grueling, requires a high level of magical skill, physical stamina, and a deep commitment to justice. Only the best and brightest witches and wizards make that cut. This tells us a lot about Frank and Alice. They didn't just fight dark magic, they excelled at it. Both were known to be incredibly skilled in defensive spells, making them the two most, I would say, formidable Aurors during Voldemort's first rise to power. Frank and Alice were both Aurors, some of the most skilled fighters in the magical community. As members of the Order of Phoenix, they dedicated their lives to fighting Lord Voldemort and his Death Eaters during the First Wizarding War. Unlike many others who cowered in fear or tried to stay neutral, the Longbottoms were known for their relentless courage. When Voldemort fell in 1981 after his failed attempt to kill Harry Potter, the wizarding world erupted in celebration. Families across the magical community could finally imagine a future without the looming shadow of the Dark Lord. Like the rest of the wizarding world, the Longbottoms believed that they could finally breathe again. It may have seemed like a chance to finally live in peace and raise their son Neville in a safer world, but their relief would be tragically short lived because their status as known enemies of Voldemort meant that they were never truly out of danger. The fight wasn't over for them, even after Voldemort's supposed defeat. The temporary peace came crashing down when Bellatrix Lestrange, her husband Rodolphus, other loyal Death Eaters had captured Frank and Alice. Desperate to find Voldemort after his disappearance, they subjected the Longbottoms to the Cruciatus Curse, an unspeakable act of cruelty. For Frank and Alice, this wasn't just a moment of pain. The prolonged use of the curse shattered their mind, leaving them permanently incapacitated. The tragedy of their fate was more than physical injury. It was the loss of their identity, their memory, and their ability to be present for their young son. Frank and Alice were admitted to St. Mungo's Hospital, where they would spend the rest of their lives in a permanent state of mental collapse. Their once vibrant lives were stolen from them, leaving them a mere shadow of who they once were. The tragedy didn't just end with Frank and Alice. It left Neville, their only son, in the care of his formidable grandmother, Augusta Longbottom. Neville grew up under her stern watch, with a constant reminder of the parents he barely knew. Augusta was proud of her son's bravery and pressured Neville to live up to the Longbottom legacy. However, young Neville struggled to meet those expectations. In his early years at Hogwarts, Neville Longbottom struggled with confidence and academic performance, often feeling overshadowed by his more talented peers. He faced significant challenges, including anxiety and self doubt, particularly highlighted by his difficulties with spells and moments of embarrassment, like during his first year learning how to fly. His family background, with his parents having been tortured into insanity, added to his burdens, making it hard for him to believe in himself. Voldemort's return to power marked the onset of the Second Wizarding War, plunging the community into chaos and fear. His resurrection at the end of the Goblet of Fire reignited his dark ambitions. He sought to reclaim control over the magical community and eliminate anyone who opposed him, particularly Harry Potter. Voldemort regained followers in the Death Eaters. Act of violence and terror spread rapidly amongst the community. Muggleborns were targeted, with the Ministry of Magic falling into disarray. They were unable to respond effectively to the growing threat. The once safe walls of Hogwarts were breached, and the school became a battleground as students and staff united against Voldemort's forces. As the war escalated, alliances formed among various factions, including the Order of the Phoenix and Dumbledore's army, all striving to resist Voldemort's tyranny. Neville would become one of the most important figures in the Second Wizarding War. As a key member of Dumbledore's army and a hero in the Battle of Hogwarts, he fought valiantly to bring down Voldemort's forces once and for all. In many ways, Neville's journey completed what Frank and Alice had started. Though Frank and Alice couldn't witness their son's triumph, their legacy lived on through Neville. He faced the very Death Eaters responsible for his parents' suffering. He showed the wizarding world that the Longbottom spirit could never be broken. Frank and Alice Longbottom's story is one of immense courage, heartbreaking tragedy, and enduring legacy. Though they may not have lived to see the fruits of their labor, their bravery continues to inspire those who know their story. Through their son Neville, the Longbottoms remind us that true heroism isn't defined by glory or recognition. It's defined by standing up for what's right, no matter what the cost. Thank you for watching, and if you want to dive deeper into the wizarding world, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.